Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to cover on the program today. You know, these girls were not only spared execution in Iran because of Donald Trump, some of them have already been released. And we're going to get into that on the program here this morning, and there's a whole bunch more to cover. But I want to start by sharing a video with you. This is very disturbing. Everyone in the country needs to see this video, in particular, those of you in California. Last night in California, they had their gubernatorial primary debate, and on the stage were both Republicans and Democrats. The front runners in the race are Chad Bianco, Republican, and Steve Hilton, Republican. There haven't really been any updated polls that you can lean on since these people, since Swalwell and the other Democrat dropped out of the race. But Bianco, the Republican, and Steve Hilton have been pretty much tied for first and second place. And the way that this Republican or Democrat primary works in California for governor is different than any primary we have here in Florida or anywhere else I've seen. The Republicans and Democrats are running in the same primary, all right? Here in Florida, we have a Republican primary and a Democrat primary. In California, they're all running in the same primary. Whoever comes in first and second place run against each other in the general election for governor. And Chad Bianco, Republican, and Steve Hilton, Republican, have been in first and second place. And how that plays out after the debate last night and everything, we don't know if they'll still be in first and second. One of them will be in either first or second after the latest polls come out. But Laura Loomer posted a disturbing video of Sheriff Chad Bianco that I'm going to share with you. Remember during the BLM Summer of Love and all that, when they were burning down D.C. and everything, and Democrats were going around the country getting down on their knees and taking a knee, begging for the forgiveness from black people. Remember this? Members of Congress did it. Liberals were doing it. It was very bizarre. Well, Sheriff Chad Bianco, so-called Republican, he led some of his deputies to a BLM protest and got down on his hands and knees begging for forgiveness from BLM. And this was in the local news in California at the time. This is the local Fox affiliate, Fox 11, and they interview Sheriff Chad Bianco while he's on his hands and knees begging Black Lives Matter for forgiveness for the sin of being white. This is Bianco talking now. Whoa, yeah. I mean, this is totally insane. So is Chad Bianco really a Republican? Is he the kind of Republican that you want in power? Is he the kind of Republican that you would trust to be the governor of California over Steve Hilton? I don't know what this guy's about. You know, this whole taking a knee, begging black people for forgiveness for things that we have nothing to do with was pretty insane when it happened. And it's certainly not something that you want in a governor. I mean, my goodness. My goodness. I hope this bumps Steve Hilton up a couple points in the polls. But then again, this is California, and you never know. Now, this was before BLM was exposed as a big real estate scam. But no, this is, to me, this video of him taking a knee, Chad Bianco, is Dukakis in the tank. This is in my view, this is a career-ending moment for a Republican. And if Bianco were to become governor, see, now we know why. President Trump endorsed Steve Hilton, and we know why. Look at this. I bet you President Trump knew about this. Unreal. I mean, talk about Republican and name only. Real Republicans don't take knees and beg for forgiveness on their hands and knees from Black Lives Matter. That's just my opinion, but I think that's the opinion of most people who are Republican. It's pretty disgusting. All right, so we've got a lot to cover on the program today, and I am going to go through a lot, including all of the latest on the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has really gotten the huge story. But first I want to talk about these Iranian women that were saved by our favorite president, Donald Trump. These women were slated to be executed. One of them was at a protest in January, and they were being executed for doing what you and I are doing right now, right? Sharing our opinions, voicing our opinions on politics. And in Iran, if you voice an opinion, you're dead. They execute you. Right? They executed that soccer player a couple weeks ago for doing the same thing. And, the First Amendment and free speech in this country are so important. And it's something that as Americans, we take for granted. And they don't, around the world, not just Iran, but a lot of places like Canada and others, they don't have free speech like we have in this country. They just don't. And in Iran, when someone speaks up against the government, they can get killed. So President Trump called on Iran to halt the executions. Not only did Iran comply to President Trump's demand, a couple of the women have been released from jail. So what do you think happened here? What do you think happened here? Are the Iranians afraid of Trump? Are they listening to Trump? Or are they just good-hearted people that all of a sudden are free speech advocates? This civil war that's going on inside Iran right now, which is a beautiful thing, what led to these women being released? To me, it's a couple of things. One, Trump put a spotlight on it. But it's also a signal that whoever is in charge in Iran right now is afraid of their own people. And they have an indication that if they were to have executed these women, there very well could have been an uprising in Iran. And it shows that Trump's policies in Iran not only are working, they're working big time because the Iranians are afraid of their own people now. That's why these executions didn't happen. They're afraid of their own people. 2-3 weeks ago, they would have executed these women through hanging or guillotines, and they wouldn't have thought twice about it. Certainly 9 weeks ago, it would have happened. We wouldn't have even known about it until after. But it shows that an uprising of the people at least is something that the Iranians are afraid of. And, here you have President Trump has saved the lives of these women, saved their lives from execution in Iran. Where's the media coverage on this crediting him for it? Where are the feminists who are advocates for women's rights going beyond party lines and saying, hey, listen, I don't agree with Trump on these things, but he saved the lives of these women, and I want to commend him. They can't do it. They can't do it. In fact, they would probably rather the women be executed than saved because they don't want Trump to get the credit. The Trump derangement syndrome knows no limits. It knows no bounds. What President Trump has done for women and women's rights in this country, in this world, is he's probably one of the greatest liberators of women that the world has ever seen, right? Not only did he stop these women from being executed, How many women has he stopped from being victimized from sex trafficking at the southern border when he shut down the border? How many women in his first term did he save from sex slavery when he shut down Backpage, which is how sex slavers were advertising prostitution around the world? So many women are alive and are not being raped daily because of Donald Trump. Women have never had a champion like this guy, Donald Trump. And he gets no thanks for it because the feminists and the left have Trump derangement syndrome, and they would rather these women be executed than spared and Trump get the credit for it. That's how sick, twisted, and demented they are. Now, I want to talk about Tom Laporte at Laporte Roofing. Oh, my goodness. It was raining so hard a couple hours ago at my house. What about you guys? It's rainy season in South Florida. If you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof. And you know, when you have a leak in your roof and you see that wet spot on your ceiling, the leak up at your roof level is much bigger than what you're seeing on the ceiling because it has to go through a lot of layers before it gets to the drywall of your ceiling. It has to get through the roofing material, shingles, tile, whatever you got, the wood, the weather treatment, the insulation. You know, there's a lot of levels. So that leak is much worse than that coin-sized wet spot on your ceiling. Call Tom Laporta. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He's a good MAGA guy who will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need a simple repair, he'll do it. 954. This number, by the way, rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. You can call or text. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. All right, we're still in radio break. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll go to the phones when we get back from the break. Make sure you guys like the video. Liking the video is what really spreads this channel to people and gets it recommended to people that have not yet found me. So please like the video. And I know a lot of you have been doing that. Thank you so much. And I got a lot to cover. I'm going to take some calls when we get back, but then I'm going to get into this Southern Poverty Law Center. And, I've been following the Southern Poverty Law Center for years and years and years, and I think most conservatives just heard of it yesterday. But I've been following them for years, and what they're doing, what Kash Patel and Todd Blanchett did are just amazing. I mean, taking them down is almost as big, maybe even bigger than taking down USAID when Doge did that with Elon. All right, we got a little bit of time till we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. Oh, man. Oh, it is raining, and it is raining pretty hard. All right, we've got less than a minute. Less than a minute, and we will be back. Thanks for liking the video, guys. That really helps me out a lot. Oh, and those of you that are members to the YouTube channel, my wife added a whole bunch of new emojis for members. So if you become a member, you get of the channel, you get your name in a special color, so you stand out in the chat, and you get access to the members only emojis. And my wife added some new emojis the other day, so check those out. And if you want that and want your name in a special color, become a member. All right, about 20 seconds. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vancouver, Canada, and my name is Jerry. Such wonderful news that Mr. Trump, your wonderful president, saved those ladies' lives. It makes me so happy. I had dinner with an Iranian the other day, and they were just so blessed in that he had enough guts to do what he did, where nobody stood up and did what he did. Thank God for your show.
Why did you have dinner with an Iranian? What's that about?
Well, we went for dinner at this really great restaurant up at the corner of Robson near Granville.
No. But why are you? I mean, how do you know an Iranian? And just coincidentally, just a friend of yours, a lady friend.
I talked to everybody, and he was a dentist in North Vancouver, and his wife was Iranian. I just ended up finding out that they're from Iran.
Oh, you didn't know.
Their story.
So are they excited about? Are they?
Everybody. So I talked to them. They told me he has family there
that
were executed.
Oh my goodness.
And he also told about stories where they would give them some strange poison, and later on they would die of some mysterious death.
So they're happy. They're happy that President Trump is taking down the Iranian regime.
More than happy. The Persian community are ecstatic that this is going on, and I think that's 5D chess, in my opinion. That's you win a war before you even start it, and that's what's going on in Iran right now. The hunters become the hunted.
You know, it's really amazing. You know, one of the things about President Trump on this program, those of you that listen regularly, we get calls from Canada, Australia, England, and Scotland, and what President Trump has done is become an iconic leader for the English-speaking world, right? You know, and because the English-speaking world was fading away, but we're back.
Elon Musk bought Twitter, and that saved free speech. That saved the election.
Saved everything.
It's coming out as it works out right now. The 2020 election, Mayor of Poza County. The Dominican, the voting machines from Maduro that were uncovered. That's why they had to take them alive.
Yeah.
There's a rabbit hole going on here. There's a lot of inside things going on. But I'm going to give you a little bit of trivia. JFK Jr. was recovered by a head gentleman that's in the Trump administration at the head of the army, a Vietnamese gentleman.
Really?
Dale, I believe his name is. Yeah, he recovered JFK Jr.
Okay.
And then you look at the number 17 and all the things that go on with that. What's on the Pop's gravesite? It's a letter Q.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I just wish you the very, very best.
Well, I appreciate the call.
All right.
Good. From Canada. We never used to get calls from foreign countries, but that's what Trump's given us, right? I mean, he's saving Western civilization. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alex from Washington.
Hey, Washington. What's up? Washington State, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, how can Trump have saved lives in Iran when we are bombing school children and declaring victory multiple times while the conflict is still ongoing?
Well, first of all, we have not bombed schools and children.
Okay.
So that's just that's not true. That's not true.
What's your
Well, you don't have to prove it. You don't prove a negative. There's been if we had bombed
So there should be evidence
excuse me, you asked You asked a question. I'm answering it.
You
Okay.
are not providing an answer.
Because you won't stop talking. Okay. If
Because you are not providing an answer. that
how can
makes
I
sense.
provide an answer if you won't stop interrupting while I'm speaking? If
How
we,
can you provide
oh
an
my
answer
goodness.
when you aren't addressing the fact?
If we had bombed a school and killed
Okay,
children.
different subject.
No, not different subject.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this. If we had bombed, we'll get to the next thing
You're
in a
not
minute.
talking about it, though.
I'll
You're just
talk
saying,
about
no,
what
it
I
didn't happen,
choose
it
to
didn't
talk about.
happen.
If we had bombed a school, okay, hang in there. I'm trying to be very patient with you, okay?
Trump said
If
Antifa did
if
January 6th.
we had bombed
Trump
us,
pardoned all of the January 6th.
I am going to disconnect the call if you don't stop interrupting while I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you that triggered?
No,
Are you that
I like to have
okay?
conversations, and I can't have a conversation if you just put out random. I'm under the weather today. I probably should have taken the day off, but I'm here.
Wow, imagine that. The triggered snowflake is running away. And
Really? Do you hear my voice? Do you hear my voice? I'll put you on hold. I'm going to take the break early and take care of my voice, and I'll come back to you. All right, so Mike, we'll take the break early. I will hopefully fix my voice, and we'll be right back. Hold on, guys. All right, I just gargled with salt water. So hopefully that'll help. All right, we got less than a minute. We'll be back. I meant to do that before I went on the air. Well, I'll be doing that during every break probably, is gargling with salt water. I forgot to do it before I went on the air. That's that's an old trick, but I've been talking, and I should. If I'd have done it before, I'd have no problems. 30 seconds, and we'll be back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, and my voice is back, but I'm going to put my mouth close to the mic and not talk so loud, and hopefully that'll get my voice. I did 3 things during the break to help my voice, and during every commercial break, I'm going to go do them again. That caller hung up. Now the phones did. You know, there's a lot of people who have called in the last minute or two, so maybe he's called back, but he did hang up from his original call. He may call back. If we had bombed a school, the propagandist in Iran would show us video of dead children in the school to turn global opinion against Donald Trump in the United States. They didn't do that. We did not bomb a school. All right. Okay, let's go to the phones, and if that guy, I will let that guy call back. That he hung up, but I'll let him call back if he'd like. Okay, to discuss. Since I did have to go to the break early because I lost my voice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Michael.
You asked the question, why aren't these liberals, these Democrats for these women being freed in Iran? These are the same people that are the gays for Palestine when they know
Gays for
that
Palestine.
you cannot be gay in the Middle East.
Gay
or
for
you're going to
Palestine.
get thrown off a roof.
Yeah, what a dumb
know?
gays for Palestine, gays for Iran. What strange organizations those are.
Yeah, what strange organization, and that's the thing. But it's been proven that liberalism and Democrats have a mental disease. It's been proven. So this is part of their mental disease.
You know, when Michael Savage came out with that, I guess it was a title of a book, Liberalism is a Mental Disorder. That was a thesis that he had, and it was many years ago. And his thesis that liberalism is a mental disorder has been proven time and time again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've said it before. President Trump is the most consequential president in the history of this country.
Mm-hmm.
I love George Washington and I love Abraham Lincoln, but what he's doing for freedom, what this man is doing for freedom, not just freedom for us in this country, but freedom for everybody around the world.
That's right. That's right.
It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, Mike, I appreciate the call. Yeah, I knew I was going to have problems today with my voice, but I thought I'd get through more than 25 minutes of the show before I did. But you can tell I did 3 things during the break, and they seem to have worked. But I'm going to have to probably do all 3 again during every break. Okay, now you're welcome. If you're on hold, stand by. You're welcome to call in about anything that I've brought up so far. But I got a lot more to cover as well. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number is toll free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Alex from Washington.
Okay, yeah, I let you call back. I let you call back when you hung up during the break that I had to take because I lost my voice.
Because you ran away and started talking to other people. I was watching.
You were watching? No, you were not watching. I went to break. I went to break. Hold on a second here. This is all on, if you're listening on the radio, we cut away and I went to commercial. If you're watching on YouTube, I went to break because I lost my voice, as you could tell. I went and got a bottled water and drank half of it.
Talking to someone.
No, I didn't. I got Halls, and then I went and gargled with salt water. And then I came back, and you had hung up, so I went back to the phones. I didn't know, and you just called back now.
Actually, no, this is my third call back because you disconnected the call.
You hung up. But it doesn't matter. You're here now.
Because you disconnected.
You're
Yes.
here now.
Thank you for...
If I were running away from you, I would not have you back on the air.
Time, or are you going to let me ask my question?
You asked a question which I'm responding to. This
And you
isn't.
didn't answer.
You didn't get the answer you wanted.
No, you did not answer. You avoided the entire thing.
Now, please.
So let's try a
Please.
different question.
Another incel. Go
Wow,
ahead.
what an original comment, Princess.
Well, notice he
Trump
doesn't.
said
He
that
didn't say it's
Antifa
not
did
true.
January 6th.
Uh-huh. He
How
said
could you
what?
have reported otherwise?
He said what?
Trump said that Antifa, you know, the anti-fascists who did
Yeah.
the 2019-2020 summer protests,
Yeah, you're friends.
he said those were the same people who did January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
He then pardoned and commuted the sentences of everyone convicted of offenses related to January 6th by executive order.
Mm-hmm.
Then
He didn't pardon
said that
everyone. No, he did
Antifa
not
are
pardon
violent
everyone.
terrorists.
He did not pardon everyone. Some people.
I said pardoned everyone convicted
Some
of
people. No, excuse me.
To January
Some
6th.
people he pardoned. Some
Are
people.
you going to let me finish?
No. This is not how a conversation happens, Washington. When there's a conversation, you take turns. You don't just throw out things.
Yes. You.
And I don't mind.
yes,
Listen,
and
hold
if
on.
you are
Slow
not
down
letting
for a
me
second.
finish, you are not letting me take my
Slow
turn.
down for a second, okay? Or not only will I discontinue the
Slow
call,
down.
if I discontinue this call, you and I will never speak again. I will never put you on the air here again. And I know you think I won't be able to do that,
Wow.
but I can.
Good job, Princess.
Okay.
So much
The
for
way-
that free speech you love.
The way that a conversation works is people take
is
turns
I say
talking.
something, and then you get to respond when I am done.
No,
saying
it's
something.
my show. And I
you
get
are
it.
not letting me talk.
It
so I
is-
will not let you talk.
What you don't
Are
under,
you really this
what you don't
triggered,
understand
baby girl?
is that I'm letting you.
you
All right,
really
goodbye. I mean, I can't. This is what's happened with texting and DMs and whatever platform you use, like WhatsApp, whatever the latest equivalent is. We have a generation of young people, mostly Gen Z, a little bit of the younger millennials. The younger millennials and Gen Z have no idea on how to have interactions with human beings because they never do. That's why they have AI girlfriends now. They spend so much time talking electronically to people and not have real interactions. They don't even know how to have a basic conversation. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. You're on the air. I'm very patient because I'm under the weather. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Craig from Winter Garden. How you doing?
Winter Garden. All right, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Let me run something by you, see what you think. I think President Trump already knows who the new leadership in Iran's going to be. I think he's already got it picked out. I think it's going to be an Iranian course, and it'll be a good, moderate. It can get along with all other Arab countries and Israel. And I think he's waiting until this stuff going on over there now just kind of settles down, and then they're going to come into place.
Correct.
So
I agree
far
with
ahead,
you.
everything
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, that's what I've been thinking about this the whole time. I think he already knows who it's going to be, and he's going.
Yeah.
If something bad happens over there, and somebody else comes in and they're not any good, you're starting all over again.
Well,
He
here's
knows that.
what is obvious. The CIA and Mossad have been embedded in Iran since the Iranian Revolution. The CIA, we've been in Iran since the 50s with the CIA. So it's very possible that there are people in the government, maybe even the president of Iran, who were CIA or Mossad. You understand that? I mean, that's how embedded we are in Iran.
Yeah.
So I would, the president of Iran and the foreign minister who have survived all these attacks, I would be less surprised if I found out they were Mossad or CIA or assets of ours. Yeah.
Okay, that was my point. I just wanted to run that by to see what you thought on that.
Absolutely. And when you look at this war with Iran, we're watching a military conflict in real time on social media. We have no boots on the ground. President Trump has them killing each other. The country is on the verge of total collapse financially and internally with their government system that's fallen apart, with a very minimal loss of life. Maybe 24 at the most Americans, sadly, lost their lives in this conflict. But Iran's a big country with 90 million people, and they had a pretty large military when this all began. And the military tactics used by the Trump administration are nothing short of brilliant in Iran.
Well, yeah. I mean, that what you just said is so obvious. Anybody with half a brain knows that. And these people who are calling you, the people on the left and going on, they know all that, but they can't come to terms with what's happening because he's doing it. Everything he does is the best, and they know that.
And
it just drives them crazy.
And what he's doing is he's rewriting the way that America will fight wars in the future. We have such overwhelming technology and air superiority that we don't need boots on the ground with most of these operations.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I remember Rush years ago saying, you want to spend billions and billions of dollars on one weapon, so you never have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And say, what are you talking about? Never have to use it because you're such a powerful weapon that nobody is going to want to do anything to basically go against you. But if you have it and you need to use it, by golly, use it. And that's exactly.
Look at what happened. Look what happened with Maduro in Venezuela. Maduro wasn't just in his house; he was in his home on a military base. So we launched a raid on a military installation in Venezuela, and took him out without any American casualties. Now, President Trump said one of the helicopter pilots got his leg shot up, but we didn't lose any lives.
Oh, I know. It's like I say, everything the guy does, you look at it and you say, can anybody do any better? And you can't. I mean, I don't know how anybody can go against President Trump on anything he's done. It's just amazing. I mean, you get to look at it. And I tell you, man, we're blessed and so grateful to have him. And I hope all these liberals are going to be calling you. They always have, How you deal with them, I don't know, man. I hope you can make a lot of money to do what you're doing. You have to put up with some of the guys that call
It's a living.
People.
It's a living.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, keep doing it, man, and I'm going to keep listening.
All right, appreciate the call. Take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. After the next break, I'm going to get into what's going on with the Southern Poverty Law Center. Now, those of you that have listened to me over the years, I've been covering the Southern Poverty Law Center for a long, long time. And most conservatives that you hear talking, their first time they knew anything about the Southern Poverty Law Center was yesterday. And I've been calling them out for decades on the air. And what has been uncovered is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we're going to get into that right after the break. But first, I want to talk about those of you that have neuropathy. If you have neuropathy, it's god-awful. If you know someone that has neuropathy, it's living torture. The pain, the dizziness, the falling down all the time, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and the feet. It's just, you can't sleep, you can't do anything, you can't get out of bed. But there's a treatment for neuropathy that works at Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. And I've seen what they've done with neuropathy patients, not just Steve Kane, but other listeners of ours. And I've had listeners on our cruise and at appearances come up to me and thank Steve and thank me for finding Lighthouse Medical. And they have their life back. They can get out, they can walk, they can go places, they can do things, they can golf, they can come on cruises because they no longer have all these neuropathy symptoms that were keeping them bedridden. Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you're located in the world. Give them a call. They're in Pompano, and if you can make it in person, please do. But even if you're local and you can't make it in person, that's okay, because they know if you have neuropathy, it may be difficult for you to leave the house. They can treat you no matter where you are. Give them a call, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to go, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go gargle with some salt water again during the break. Okay? All right, gargle with some more salt water, which worked, I hope. Okay, we got a couple minutes till we're back. So if you're on hold, stand by. Salt water. I just forgot to gargle with salt water this morning. That's salt water is an old trick. If you're a singer, if you're a broadcaster, salt water does miracles. You guys, I got it during the breaks. I can't talk as much, okay, because of all these problems. But you guys understand what I was talking about with that caller. He throws out a question. He doesn't want if I give him an answer he doesn't want, he accuses me of not answering and then moves on. I mean, this is crazy. Oh, you heard? Yeah, that was my daughter's cat, Haku. They wanted on our back porch. Oh, here comes Coca-Cola. Hey, Coca-Cola. What's up, man? Come here. Hey. Here, let me show you guys. This is Coca-Cola. His brother's Pepsi. Hey, Coca-Cola. What's up, man? You want to talk in the mic? He's a good cat. Less than a minute, and we'll be back. All right. All right, about 30 seconds or so, and we'll be back. The salt water helps a lot. I got my voice back. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Doc. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Look, two quick things. I'm gonna let you go. First of all, one thing. I've been trying to call your show for a while, and it's like some mornings it goes to a busy signal, and some mornings it goes like this. Like, you know how we call a number is no longer in service? It does that a lot.
Oh, okay. I don't know. No, but you're here now. Sometimes the phones are busy, and sometimes the phones will get so busy the lines will get overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's probably what is, but you're here now.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I just want to say too this thing was the Iran thing has gotten so crazy, and I think Trump
Crazy?
needs
Hold
to-
on. It's crazy how? What's gotten crazy about it? The women that were going to be hung yesterday have been spared because of Donald Trump. That's pretty good thing, isn't
I
it?
don't believe that. I don't believe that.
You don't believe what?
Anyway,
You don't believe what?
I don't believe that.
That they're not
I don't believe
that they weren't executed?
Brian, I don't believe that story.
Iran said they
Okay.
even released a couple of the women from
I
incarceration.
don't believe that. I don't believe that.
All right.
I don't believe that.
All right.
Anyway, what I want to tell you is this.
Unbelievable.
This thing has gotten unbelievable. Very right. This thing has gotten so crazy to where I don't think Trump has gotten so deep into this to where I don't think he knows how to get out of this anymore. Because if he wants to get out of this, he's gonna be like a loser if he gets out. If he give Iran certain thing, Iran is not doesn't want to give in. He doesn't want to give in, and it's just going to get crazy and crazy.
You know, what happened in this? I'm so glad you called today, because what you said was amazing. Okay, it is widely reported throughout the planet Earth that these women, there's 8 or 9 of them, they were going to be executed in Iran. Their lives have been spared. Some of them have been hold on. And you don't slow down, Doc. Listen. My voice is very weak. Okay, so I can't. It's hard for me to raise my voice. I'm talking very low with my mouth very close to the mic, so I don't have to talk louder because I'm trying to save my voice. I've got 2 hours and 9 minutes of show left, and I can't blow my voice out in the first hour. But I give you information that you don't want to hear, and you basically put your hands over your ears and are like, la 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 la, I don't believe it, don't say that, I don't believe it. It's being reported in every news outlet on the planet.
What news outlets? Give me the name.
CNN, Reuters, Associated Press, the Daily Mail, the New York Times, the Washington Post.
When I go to I'm going to even one of those sites and I'm going to look. I didn't see anything about it.
Well, you got to look, okay? It's everywhere.
And Brian, again, like I said,
three or four of them were released from incarceration and set free.
Again, Brian, Trump, and what is he going to do about Cash Patel? He needs to get rid of him.
Give him a medal. Give him a medal.
No, Cash Patel is done.
Cash Patel has, after the top of the hour, what he's done by exposing the Southern Poverty Law Center, he's deserving of a medal.
He did that
for what? What did he do? What did he do that hasn't done?
Cash Patel is a drunk.
A drunk?
Human being.
A drunk?
He is, Brian. He is. Brian.
How do you know that he's a drunk?
Brian, all the reports that's come out. Come on, B. Come on, man. You know better than that.
You mean the Atlantic that he's suing because they slandered him?
And I'm glad he's suing him because all this is going to come out.
It came out. It was reported in the liberal Atlantic magazine, and he called them out and is suing them for slander.
And so let him sue him, and all this is going to come out. He's a drunk, Brian. I guarantee you, Trump is going to get rid of him pretty soon.
Why? What he did with Southern Poverty Law Center is brilliant.
I just said that. I just said why he's going to get rid of him. That's not true. And that's not true.
What's not true?
And like I said,
what's
the law center stuff is not true. And
they filed criminal charges against the Southern Poverty Law Center.
What, Brian? So what? You got to prove it.
Okay.
You got to prove it, Brian.
They released the evidence.
Brian,
I'm gonna go over it after the top of the hour.
Well, you know what? I got to go into work. You have a good day.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Too much reality. He can't handle the reality. Even when my voice right now is at about 10 to 15% of what it would normally be, right? I can't raise my voice. I've got my mouth so close to the mic, I'm practically touching it with my mouth so I can talk lower to save my voice. And even when I can't speak, these liberal callers, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian IB.
Hey, IB, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Excuse me. Boy, that guy from Washington, that call is one of the reasons why you don't get to most of your show preps. It's a lot of time wasted. Sometimes we should just kind of be more firm with if they don't stick to the.
You heard I shot my voice. I couldn't even speak. I lost my voice from my. You know what? I'm also taking, and this is not what I'm supposed to. I'm taking Dayquil, and you're supposed to take Dayquil like every 4 hours. I'm taking it every 2, so that I can get through. I took it last at 5:30, so with the 7:30 break, I'll go take Dayquil again. Oh my goodness!
I remember when I used to drink Dayquil and NyQuil just because I liked the taste, not because I had a cold.
What?
What?
Were you an alcoholic? Were you an alcoholic?
No. Like I get sick once a year, like a cold.
You would drink NyQuil because you liked the way it tasted?
No. I don't mean like that. I mean I'll take more shots than necessary because I did like the taste. Some people didn't like the taste. But no, only.
Hold on a second here. I've lost.
That.
Yeah, go ahead, IB.
That call from Doc reminded me of the guy that called you and say you were telling him from the gas buddy all of the low prices, and he was saying all of the gas stations were closed.
They were closed. All those gas stations are closed. Exactly, except the ones that I can drive by. Yeah. Oh my.
If you tell Doc the car's white, he's gonna say it's black. Anyway, this is why I called. Long story short. I love the quagmire the Southern Poverty Law Center is in now because they are the ones that bust both sides of the Charlottesville rioters or protesters. They actually pay for both sides to be there. Forget about the innocent people that trickled in knowing that there would be either a protest or what have you. In this case, we had the one girl shot. Yeah. But I want to know legally that these people supposed to put on their what is it called 201C or 20 whatever the paperwork for having a charitable company, and they didn't state on the paperwork that they were going to give KKK and Ku Klux Klan members money. They're supposed to put it on their charter where the money goes to. So it's a scam, just like BLM was a scam, and all it does is they raised over like 100 and something. So the Southern,
after the top of the hour, I'm gonna get into the details, including some new things I uncovered about the Southern Poverty Law Center after the top of the hour. But the Southern Poverty Law Center, this is the biggest political scandal that the Democrats have faced in decades, maybe ever. It really is.
We may not have been satisfied yet with the Letitias and the Coneys and the Brennans. We might not be satisfied yet, but Cash is getting a lot of bad people out of here, and this wherever this goes, it's going to show more Democrats how devious their party is, which is going to pull more of them to us. It's going to even bring us more because once they say, hey, the Democrats actually constructed both sides. Then all
right, well, listen, IB, I'm gonna move on, but I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, this is Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
How are you doing this week?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Between the halls, the Dayquil, and the gargling salt water during the breaks, I'm doing okay.
I think you got a postnasal drip going down.
It's a cold. It's a cold, and it's causing postnasal drip. Yeah, I've got a cold. I woke up with a cold at about 11:30 last night.
Maybe an antihistamine will kind of stop it up.
That would put me to sleep. I can't take an antihistamine. It'll put me to sleep while I'm on the air. I got to wait till I'm off the air. But I'm a third of the way through the show. I've gotten when we go to the break at top of the hour, I will have made it a third of the way through the show today. So if I can make it the other 2/3, we'll be fine.
Okay, but anyway, I love that Cash Patel found out that Southern Poverty Law Group and what's going on. But also, I hear he found out the Russia thing, and they got the receipts too now.
Yeah. There's a lot. Have you noticed since Trump fired Pam Bondi, all of a sudden things are happening in the Justice Department? All of a sudden.
They got the right guy there. They got the right guy there now.
That's right.
But no, I hear they got the Russia thing.
Well, good.
And I hear they have the receipts. of who was all involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
And, how many, did they spend over $1 billion in taxpayer
A lot,
dollars
a
for
lot.
that?
Yeah, a lot. Listen, I'm coming up on the top of the hour, but Joan, I appreciate the call, all right? You take care. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. I've made it a third of the way through the show today, 2/3 to go. So, overdosing on Dayquil, but that's okay. The show must go on, and what I must do to make the show go on, I'm going to do. We'll take our break for the top and be right back. All right. Oh, man. Yeah, I did I was really thinking about taking today off. I was, because I'm so sick. But I'm here. Okay, hold on. I wanted to, where's the other thing I wanted to share? Okay. Okay, pulling some stuff up. If you're on hold, hang in there, hang in there. I've got all my, see, this is I buy hauls in these huge things. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Dayquil at 7:30. I took it at 5:30. I'm gonna take it again at 7. I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm gonna do it. And I got a few things to do when I get off the air, and then I'm gonna be in bed. So I was feeling like tired yesterday, late in the day, and now I realize why. Okay, we got a couple minutes here, so bear with me, guys. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're new. I don't have any Kool-Aid. I've got Dayquil, salt water, and Halls. But I got about 2 minutes left in the break. Oh boy. When you have, oh my goodness. Let's see here. I got a lot of commercials I got to do here. Hold on. Oh boy. And if you guys fill up the lines, I'd be very happy today, because you can see the cold's coming. It's getting worse. Thank you for the bless yous. If you're on hold, stand by. We got about 90 seconds and we'll be back. Oh boy. Thank you for the bless yous. The show must go on. Just over a minute, we'll be back. But I'm over a third of the way there. Okay, all right. What do you guys think? Should I have taken the day off or struggle through? What do you guys think? Tomorrow I'm going to the radio station. I'll be at the radio station tomorrow. 30 seconds. Well, I do not have Kool-Aid in the house, so can't do anything with the Kool-Aid. I might have to take the Dayquil before the 2 hours. Oh, my goodness. Because it's wearing off. All right, the second hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, and the Dayquil is wearing off, guys. Oh, boy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ray from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, Ray, hold on one second while I answer all these lines. Ray in Jacksonville, what's on your mind?
Hey, try using a neti pot, man. That'll clear up the infection inside of your sinus.
I have a neti pot, but I can't use it while I'm on the air. I don't. Maybe the bottom of the hour break. Maybe the bottom of the hour break's long enough for me to get the neti pot out. That's a good idea.
Hope you get well soon.
All right. Yeah, me too. I've got an hour and 55 minutes of show here left to go, and the Dayquil's wearing off big time. But I use a neti pot. They do pretty good. They do work. But you got to make sure that you don't put in tap water. Do not put tap water in the neti pot.
I started listening to your show instead of listening to our Rhino up here in Jacksonville. His name, he's out of Canaveral area.
Oh.
But he moved up to Jacksonville, and he's got his own show.
Yeah.
And he's a Rhino, but I enjoy your show.
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty hot in Jacksonville. It's a very liberal town, so I think I would drive them nuts in Jacksonville.
Well, I've been listening to your show for several months now, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, thanks for the call, Jacksonville, Florida. I have cousins in Jacksonville. Take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, so I just wanted to give a shout out to your White Power Hour. That Virginia just turned blue.
Well, actually, the courts told them that what they did is illegal, and they can't implement it.
You must be really upset.
You can't vote and pass things that are illegal, like gerrymandering.
Texas and Florida.
No, it's not.
And nothing's mad because it got used against you.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Huh? What? It's not the same thing.
Okay. Because it worked against you, that's why.
It didn't work. It failed. They passed it, but the court said they can't implement it. It's illegal. So it's not happening.
Just like what you guys did to Jasmine Crockett is illegal.
Redistricting is not in itself illegal. States redistrict all the time. But if you redistrict in a way to freeze out the opposing party, that's gerrymandering. That's what they did.
Right. In other words, if white people lose, it's a problem.
There's a lot of white Democrats.
Yeah, and there's a lot of white racists like you.
Not really.
Not really.
What we've learned from the Southern Poverty Law Center is there aren't that many racists out there.
Okay. The Southern Poverty Law Center is doing a really good thing by exposing you racists, and they're doing it. All right, Renee.
So how do you feel? I mean, isn't it a good thing that President Trump stopped the execution of these women in Iran? No, you think it would have been better if they were executed? It would have been better if they were executed?
It's none of his business. He has no business being there at all.
So the women would have been better off executed, is what you're saying?
It would have been better off if the Iranians handled their own business.
Well, they did. They called off the execution and released 3 or 4 of them from custody.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
It worked out good.
Yeah, because of Trump. That's correct. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Greg, listen.
I hear you constantly bashing Pam Bondi and stating, why would she stop any litigation that was valid?
Because she is in league with the Bush family. President Trump fired her.
Yeah, I know he fired her. Of course he did, but he also hired her. Doesn't he do
Well,
a better job
you
hiring
you can't fire somebody that you haven't hired.
But you shouldn't hire people that you think are connected to the, you know, the
What are you
swamp.
if you're psychic, you can't see the future.
You can, well, hey, listen, with good judgment, you and a good interview.
She was one of his she was one of his private lawyers. She infiltrated the movement.
Right, she knew. All right, also Matt Gaetz is another one. But listen,
I like Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is awesome. I like Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz is trash. He's a sex predator. What are you talking about? You are a lunatic. But also, I'm going to send an email out to Pam Bondi or find her on Instagram saying she should sue you, like Candace Owens is being sued. She should come.
All right, goodbye. That's it for you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Fred from Coral Springs.
Hey, Coral Springs. What's up?
Hey, man, I feel for you. I spent 25 years in radio, and having a bad cough or a cold is horrendous.
Oh, it sucks. This is usually, it's not. This is not the first time I've done this, and I've been on the air much sicker than I am today. But today, the problem with today, it's because it's affecting my throat, so I can't hide it. Usually, I don't say anything; I just do it. But because of my throat, I can't hide it.
Yeah, one of the stations I worked at, we used to have a cough drops in a bowl next to the coffee pot in the lounge. It was always a problem. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, I spent part of those years in Montgomery, Alabama, and that's where the headquarters of the Southern Poverty Law Center are.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most grotesque-looking buildings you've ever seen. I mean, it's mammoth.
Yeah.
And just totally talk about wasting people's money on a building. I mean, right there.
Yeah.
But what's kind of funny and ironic about it's right down the street from Jefferson Davis's first White House of the Confederacy.
Really?
And also right where and also where the orders were given to bomb Fort Sumter.
Oh my goodness.
By Beauregard, yeah. And also not too far from Martin Luther King's first church. So, I mean, there's like so many hypocritical things. But the real quick comment I wanted to make, just to go back to Doc for a second, and this is one of the reasons I love to listen to liberals. He started accusing Kash Patel of being a drunk as fact. And then the minute it came up with, he was talking about the other thing, the executions of the girls, or women over in Iran.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there going, prove it. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. You believe one thing, but you got to prove the other thing. It's just, so hypocritical, these people. I wish they'd listen to themselves sometimes.
It's, the thing about the girls is being reported in every major outlet on the planet. It's a big story.
I know.
So, I mean, it's evidence there, but he just doesn't want to hear it. But, the thing with Kash Patel, you guys think it's just a coincidence? They got this smear story that Kash Patel's an alcoholic, and the next day the indictment comes down against the Southern Poverty Law Center. They knew the indictment was coming down, so they do this smear story right before. Come on. And Pam Bondi leaves, and then all of a sudden we get a major indictment like this. This is, and Todd Blanchett said that this investigation, he was looking into these files over a year ago. So obviously Pam Bondi, she slow walked it. Or, the thing with Pam Bondi, it's hard to say whether she was purposely slowing things down or if she's just incompetent. The thing, I've mentioned this before with Pam Bondi. People talk about how good looking she is. She's much better looking in person. And I know that's hard for people to understand. But I've seen other people like this. She's better looking and maybe she's gotten by on her looks and hasn't really done much. But whatever it is, she's gone, and then immediately we get this major indictment.
Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, look, you get over your cold. You do a great job. I love listening to you. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, now if you're on hold, stand by. After the break, I'll take some more calls, and I will get into the Southern Poverty Law Center and what's going on here, because it's incredible. I want to talk about coastal weight loss secret. You know, my birthday was on Monday, and my mother-in-law, she got me a really cool Tommy Bahama shirt, and she bought the shirt and she says, well, it didn't fit. It was too big. And she said, I thought it was your size. I said, well, this was the size I wore before I lost all this weight with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. So she was I said, I can return it. My mother-in-law, very nice. She took it and returned it herself. And it's amazing that I've gone down major shirt sizes, because, you know, when you are a little heavier, you know, you got to cover up your stomach. So you got to buy bigger shirts. And it's nice to be able to wear shirts that are like form-fitting and a lot smaller than I used to wear. And, you know, it was about a year ago that I hit my target weight, and I've kept all the weight off. It's amazing. And you can do it too. No matter how much or how little you want to lose, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you. Call right now and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Callers on hold, you stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. Okay, it's saltwater time. Yeah, it was the shirt I wore yesterday on the show. Okay. If you're on hold, stand by. I got a couple minutes till we're back. But, oh, man. Yeah, I've been up since about 11:30. I woke up at 11:30 and was not feeling well. I'm going to take Dayquil at the next break because the previous dose is wearing off. You know, the reason I didn't take off is I knew I could get through it, you know, because I'm almost halfway. And I just had a week off for the cruise, you know. So I didn't want to take off another day after I just had a week off for the cruise, you know. All right, what time are we back? Okay, got 2 minutes and we'll be back. 2 minutes and we'll be back. By the way, all of you who have liked the video, thank you so much. And those of you that are new Patreon supporters, thank you too. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description. And if you become a Patreon supporter, there's all kinds of perks and benefits you'll see there, including commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes, exclusive live streams, and more. All right, less than a minute, we'll be back. Sorry, I'm saving my voice during the break. If you were listening right before 7:30, my voice totally conked out on me. Yeah, I was gargling salt water. You might have been able to hear. I wasn't too far from the mic. All right, we're back. Let's go back to the phones. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hold on, Doug. My phones are just ringing off. What's on your mind, Doug?
Okay, I'm just saying you're doing pretty good with a sore throat like that. I know how it is when you have a sore throat and you gotta perform. It's tough, but I think you'll be okay, man. You're doing fine.
Well, at the next break, I will have made it to the halfway point of the show today. So.
Yeah, don't. Like I say, I used to use this voice spray that you put in, and if you had a sore throat, it would stop. But man, the next day you feel twice as bad. So I would say stay away from anything like that.
I don't have anything like that.
The Southern Poverty Law Group is great to find out that they're finally being exposed for what they are, but I don't think it's going to matter too much to most Democrats. The liberals.
No, I'm going to go through what happened with the Southern Poverty Law Center, what's been uncovered soon. And this is a blow so big to the Democrat machine, people have no idea. You know, I've known about the Southern Poverty Law Center for 20 years, and I've done a lot of coverage on them over the years. And they've kind of went underground, even though they were still doing things. But this indictment is much bigger than people realize. In fact, Southern Poverty Law Center is equally important to the Democrat Party machine as USAID was, maybe even more so.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah, they certainly were. They certainly were doing good for what the Democrats and liberals wanted. But like I said, now that they're exposed, I think that most Democrats are just going to say, "Oh,
no, it's not that you're going to flip these Democrats. After the bottom of the hour, I'm going to go through what the Southern Poverty Law Center actually was doing in detail, okay? And they're not going to be able to do what they were doing before, which was huge.
That's great. That's great, man. That's what I was saying. It's about time that I hated those guys. I knew 20, 30 years ago that they were no good. But they got away with it. They got away with it. Finally, we're doing something great. Most from President Trump, I think they'd be still in good shape. But luckily, we got a new Attorney General who's
Todd Blanche is awesome. Todd Blanche is, I mean, he's the acting Attorney General, and we get a big indictment like this, like right away.
Man, this is what we wanted. You know, I said some of the mega people were saying, "Oh, what's taking so long? This new guy who wanted all these arrests. Well, here you are." I said, "Give him a little time. He'll get to it." And here we go. It's starting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an avalanche. Hopefully, the rest of them will go down and lock them all up. This is great.
That's awesome. All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vicky, Oklahoma.
Hey, Vicky.
You know who owns the Atlantic, right?
No. Who owns the Atlantic?
Lauren Jobs.
Oh, Steve Jobs, widow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's either. I can't remember. Dad, a Republican, or one of them did a report on the board members and the big donors. She was either a board member or a big donor.
Well, the Atlantic has been around for a long, long time, and it's always
1957.
Yeah, and it's always been liberal as long as I've been following it, and no one really reads it. It's a very snooty, snobby. It used to be called the Atlantic Magazine. I guess maybe they dropped the magazine part because everything's online now. But it's always been kind of a
read that.
Yeah, it's always been kind of a stuffy. thing that nobody really paid attention to, you know?
Well, I never really heard of it until that report, and it's been around since 1867.
I haven't heard anything come out of the Atlantic in about 10 years. Really, maybe even longer. They used to be more out front, but the Atlantic's been kind of irrelevant for the last 10 years, maybe even 15. But they used to be much more prominent.
I think that's why they dropped that on Cash Patel about him being a drunk.
Yeah.
Because, they philanthropic people. You know what they do.
Well, they knew that the Southern Poverty Law Center indictment was coming down. So they dropped this story to try to smear him. Yeah. All right, appreciate the call. All right, good calls. Good calls today, I must say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Sammy from New Hampshire.
Hey, New Hampshire. What's up?
I wanted to know your opinion about the whole Jesus and Trump thing, the whole post.
What about it?
Are you willing to condemn that as a Christian, that he
condemn what?
He portrayed himself as God?
He didn't portray himself as God. Someone made a meme of him, okay, about healing the nation, which he certainly has been doing, and he just reposted it. He didn't make the image. Somebody else made it, and he just reposted it. It was just a meme someone made.
He could still have reposted it. Somebody else still could have made it.
I don't know. You're a liberal, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not a liberal. I voted for Trump.
Of course. How many times did you vote for him?
Three times.
When you said you didn't vote for him for this, what does that mean?
I wouldn't vote for anyone to portray themselves as God. I don't care if they reposted somebody else doing it, if they drew it themselves, if they actually
So let me get this straight, okay? Because let me just play this out. Because I'm glad you called, New Hampshire, because we can get to the bottom of some things. But bear with me, because I'm very under the weather. My throat is very sore, and it's difficult for me to speak. So I gotta, I'm barely using my instrument here. So you didn't vote for this. You voted for Trump 3 times, and you're not going to vote, I guess, you're not going to support Trump any longer? Is that it? I mean, so you're no longer supporting Trump?
Look, I don't know why you're asking me.
No, yes or no. This is important. Yeah, I told you. I don't care. Yes or no.
Anybody who portrays themselves as God.
Okay.
No, not anymore.
Okay. So we're in a midterm election. President Trump is endorsing candidates all over the country that are running for the House, for the Senate, for governor. So if Trump endorses someone, you won't vote for them anymore? Like when the second MAGA president, he's going to endorse whoever is going to run for president after him. So if Trump endorses them, will you no longer vote for them?
Probably, it really depends. It's an individual.
No. Yes or no. If he endorses someone.
Yes or no? Is it okay to portray yourself as God? Yes or no?
I said he didn't do that. He didn't do that.
He did do that. He even admitted it himself on video.
No, he did not. He said I thought it was a doctor. He didn't say that I portrayed myself as God.
If Joe Biden had posted that, so if Joe Biden had posted that, you would be okay with that? If he said he's a doctor, you wouldn't be complaining. Republicans wouldn't be complaining.
Joe Biden is a known liar. Donald Trump is a truth teller. So if Donald Trump endorses, excuse me, I'm trying. No, he didn't. He didn't say no new wars. He said no more endless wars. So when you say,
okay, if I can find you a video of him saying no new wars, he said that.
Listen. Be polite. I told you I'm having a hard time speaking, and I'm trying to have a discussion with you, but you're out of control. So what you're telling me is this: you're on some high Christian standard that you're putting yourself on. You're on a pedestal of pure Christianity. You're no longer supporting Trump. To not support Trump means you're supporting the Democrats now, which means you're supporting abortion. So as a Christian, how do you feel about abortion?
Well, I mean, I've seen Joe Biden quoting the Bible.
No, excuse me. As a Christian, how do you feel about abortion?
look, it seems
Are
like the
you
message
for? Are
raised
you
the
against?
Russians,
Yeah. Are you for or against? Hey, listen, fake MAGA, from New Hampshire. Okay, all right. First dump of the day. First dump of the day. I can't even speak, and I'm triggering these fake MAGA liberals out there. First dump of the day, Mike. Oh my goodness. Oh. I want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. You know, there's this this actor that was on Melrose Place and in Starship Troopers, who was 57 and he had a heart attack unexpectedly and dropped dead. He's been all over the news. I knew who the guy was, not from Melrose, but from Starship Troopers. And when I see these stories now, since I've learned about Life Imaging FLA and their heart scan, when I see these stories of people that I'm fans of that drop dead from heart attacks, and I hear people say they had no symptoms, they didn't know, no one knew, they were really healthy, they were jogging yesterday, they were traveling, they were doing this. It really is sad, because if they would have gone to Life Imaging FLA for the heart scan, they would have known, and they'd be alive today. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, say free heart scan, and you will be connected in seconds. That last caller, do you think he voted for Trump? He said he voted for him for 3 times. Do you think he voted for Trump once, ever? Or was he fake MAGA? What do you guys think? Let me know. 888-465-2631. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We're late for the break, so in my wounded condition here, I have made it past the halfway mark of today's show, and I'm still with you. I want to take a break. During the break, I'm going to take some more Dayquil, and we'll be back after this. There you go. All right, I got a couple minutes, so. Okay. I got a couple minutes till we're back. Oh, I can feel that. It's like taking a shot of whiskey. I can feel it down here. It's like taking a shot of tequila. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's pinned in the live chat. I'd like to hear your opinions on that last caller. Give me a break. He couldn't even pretend to be against abortion. I can feel that Dayquil inside of me. Oh, my goodness. I don't feel a tequila shot this much on the cruise. Oh. About 90 seconds and we'll be back. But the show is going by fast, I must say. 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. But the last hour is going to be rough, I can tell, because I am declining. the other Dayquil I took today, I couldn't feel it like that. It does feel like a shot, worse than a shot of tequila. I mean, I like tequila. That would probably clear my sinuses out. Oh, I forgot the neti pot. I don't think I have time for the neti pot. Any of you guys ever use a neti pot? I'll do the neti pot after this show, maybe. All right, stand by. All right, we're back. I've made it past the halfway point. My name's Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. All right. You know, the Southern Poverty Law Center I've been talking about for many, many years. And with the Southern Poverty Law Center, what we knew they were doing was anyone who was conservative that they viewed as a danger to the left, they would brand them a hate group. And they of course, labeled Moms for Liberty a hate group, which was a group that was a conservative group, very active in this country, especially here in Florida, flipping school board seats red. And of course, they call them a hate group, Turning Point USA, many others over the years. I went through some of them earlier in the week. But what we found out is they were involved in fraud. And this is what Todd Blanchett and Kash Patel in their press conference brought up. This is some of it. They were paying members of the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacist organizations, and even Nazis. And whenever there was a Nazi organization or a Klan organization or a white supremacist organization that was out and about somewhere, we didn't know about this Southern Poverty Law Center connection, but I would talk about it a lot. I'm like, well, and if you've listened to the show for a couple of years during the last elections, even that recently, you've heard me talk about this, but I've been covering this for years. And you've heard me have many a conversation with liberal callers when these things happen. You know, why are the Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists protesting now with a Republican president? Where were they during the 8 years of Obama or the 4 years that Kamala was vice president? Right? Yeah. Because the Klan, the Nazis and white supremacists, nothing drives them crazier than to have a black president or vice president. But you don't see them then. You only see them when there's Republicans in power. And I've always said it shows that there's no movement of the Klan or white supremacists or Nazis. It's all fake. And yesterday I was talking about how you can tell, you could even go to Charlottesville and the Klan flags and Nazi flags and Confederate flags they fly are usually brand new. Sometimes they even have square and rectangle creases in them that show that they just came out of the package. I've seen that at many of these things. The real Nazis, the real Klan, the real white supremacists, they have the flags pinned to the walls of their bedrooms and living rooms and garages with tacks, and they just take the tacks out and bring the flag. Okay? They're not brand new with creases in them. So now we know what's going on. And this is insane. The Southern Poverty Law Center, they've been behind the Klan, the white supremacists, and the Nazis in this country. And they've been paying them for a long, long time. The American Front, which is a Nazi organization, they paid just under 20 grand to an individual there. And what they do is they pay these individuals to organize and cause trouble. They paid $73,000 to a Klansman to do a protest and rile up Klansmen to do protest. The National Alliance chairman, that's a Nazi organization. They paid $140,000 to an individual there to cause problems. Unite the Right, that's Charlottesville. Charlottesville, they paid $270,000 to the organizer of Unite the Right. The Charlottesville thing was all the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Aryan Nations affiliate, they paid $300,000 to. In the National Alliance affiliate, that's another Nazi group, the Southern Poverty Law Center spent $1 million to get them to go out and protest. Now, I uncovered something this morning that I'm going to share with you in just a moment about them. But let me explain to you what they were doing. A lot of liberals, and you've seen some of the names, have been big donors to the Southern Poverty Law Center. George Clooney, Chelsea Clinton, and others. So what the Southern Poverty Law Center has been doing is taking money from these big fat cat liberal donors, millions of dollars over the years. Who knows how many millions over the years? I'm sure we'll find out at some point. So they get these liberal Democrat donors like George Clooney and Chelsea Clinton to donate millions of dollars to them. Then they take that and they take the donations to combat racism, white supremacy, and Nazis. And then they take that money that they're raising from the liberals to combat racism and Nazis and white supremacy, and then they pay Nazis and white supremacists and Klansmen to go out and have Klan protests, Nazi protests, white supremacy protests. And another way to look at it, in my neighborhood, if I started a volunteer fire department, this is the same thing that the Southern Poverty Law Center was doing. And then I uncovered something this morning that you won't want to miss. This is what they were doing in another way. If I started a volunteer fire department in my neighborhood and I took money from all of my neighbors for this volunteer fire department, it would be like I took those donations to my volunteer fire department and then hired arsonists to go around and start fires in the neighborhood to justify the need for the department. But with the Southern Poverty, do you understand what they're doing now? But this is what I found out. Southern Poverty Law Center is led by black people. Their current leader is a black woman. Their number 2 is a black man. You can look all this up on your own online. Go to their Instagram. They have not scrubbed their Instagram as recently as 4 o'clock this morning. Okay, I was on their Instagram at about 4 a.m. this morning. I imagine that's going to get scrubbed soon. But this is being widely reported. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is run by liberal black people in large part. So these liberal black people have been paying Klansmen. It sounds nuts, but it's true. Liberal black people have been paying Klansmen, Nazis, and white supremacists to go out and organize racist events. Why? To create a false narrative that there's a white supremacist, racist, Nazi movement out there. And of course, they're backing MAGA. Or before Trump, whatever Republicans were out there. It's crazy. That's what they've been doing. Now, of course, I'm sure people have picked up on this everywhere. If you remember, Charlottesville, now we know that the white supremacists were funded, paid for, and organized by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay? That's what Biden launched his campaign on, was Charlottesville. Remember, his first video from the basement was about Charlottesville when he announced he was running? So Todd Blanchett and Kash Patel, the Southern Poverty Law Center is only the tip of the spear. This is going, there. Believe me, there's a rabbit hole here to the DNC, to the Biden campaign, and others. And I have told you guys for years that there's no true organized white supremacist Nazis or Klansmen out there. That it's all fake. And now we know that what I've been telling you guys for years is true. Liberal blacks lead the Southern Poverty Law Center. And liberal black people have been organizing and funding the white supremacists, the Nazis, and the KKK in this country. It's insane. It's crazy. But it's true. That's what Kash Patel and Todd Blanchett uncovered and announced at their press conference this week. I couldn't believe when I saw the leadership of the Southern Poverty Law Center, black people. I can't believe it. Go to their Instagram right now. I imagine it's going to be scrubbed, but go to their Instagram right now for the Southern Poverty Law Center. You can verify everything. I have an article I posted to my ex at Brian Craig Show about the black female leader of the Southern Poverty Law Center. It was a big announcement when she got the job. I've got a video from the black man who is the CEO of the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's all on my X at Brian Craig Show. And go to their Instagram and you can see it all. Not on their website, on their Instagram. I don't know if they've scrubbed their website or not, but there's very little about their leadership for obvious reasons. Now, for sure, about this. This is insanity, what has happened. This is one of the biggest political scandals of our time. Maybe the biggest is being uncovered about the Democrat Party in regards to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Now, when you're a senior, you certainly don't want to live in poverty. You don't want to have to worry about money. You know, the thing about Joe Thomas and annuities, people are living longer than they used to live because of all the modern medicine and everything else. And people are living longer than the expectation of their retirement, both Social Security and pensions and savings and things. And that's a good thing to live longer. But one of the things you hear us talk about a lot is you don't want to run out of money before you run out of life. We use that a lot talking about different things involving seniors. And with Joe Thomas and annuities, you know, your Social Security, your pension, your savings, maybe even your investments that you've had in the past are not, you're living so long, prices are going up, and it may have been good for you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, but it's not enough now and you're struggling. Call Joe Thomas. The consultation is free, and Joe will put together a custom proposal just for you. His number 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. We'll be right back. Yeah. This is the leader of the Southern Poverty Law Center, a black woman. And this is their CEO, a black man. So, you know, they're the ones that are funding Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, and white supremacists. It's crazy. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. Okay. Got a couple minutes to rest my voice. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. And they've really worked hard to keep this racism thing alive, you know. And I imagine they're involved in a lot of other organizations other than the ones that have already been named. And if you'd like to call in, please do. The number is pinned in the live chat. Well, I've almost gotten through 2/3 of the show, but I'm fading. I must tell you, I'm definitely fading. That last dose of Dayquil just kicked in, which is good. Yeah, Dayquil's the best. I mean, usually when I'm sick, I don't tell you guys. Just today I did because my throat is so sore that I'm having a hard time talking. So I can't really hide it so much. And I lost my voice right before the 7:30 break. I had to take the bottom of the hour break right before 6:30, I should say. Right before the 6:30 break, I had to take the break early because I was talking to a caller and I lost my voice in the call. So I can't hide it today. But I'm not doing well today. Not doing well. Yeah, please like the video, guys. Liking the video helps a lot. It's how the video gets recommended to people that have not yet found the program. Okay, got about 90 seconds and we'll be back. Oh, man. But if I get a good solid sleep today when I get off the air, that'll help. I got a few things to do when I get off the air, and then it's going to be nighty-night for a couple of hours. I mean, it's insane that liberal black people have been funding the Klan, the Nazis, and the white supremacists. It's crazy. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Thirty seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I made it almost 2/3 of the way through the show, but I'm fading fast, guys. I tell you, that last dose of Dayquil did kick in, but it's not as effective as the first couple of doses I took today. But Dayquil does work very well. All right, welcome back. So this Southern Poverty Law Center is huge. So we find out that our suspicion, see, I've suspected for years that the liberals were behind these Klansmen and Nazis and white supremacists. I've talked about it a lot. Now we know it's a fact. And think about this. Think about this. Liberal black people have been funding the Ku Klux Klan in this country, the Nazis and the white supremacists, and the liberals were behind both sides in Charlottesville. Charlottesville was a complete false flag set up by liberals on both sides. Southern Poverty Law Center with the white supremacists, the Democrats with BLM, which is what Biden launched his whole campaign on. And then they get whole dialogues going in the media where Trump's got to condemn what the Southern Poverty Law Center is paying for. Now, I got a question. A woman was killed in Charlottesville. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the answer to this. A woman was run over by a car in Charlottesville, remember? If the Southern Poverty Law Center was funding the white supremacists that organized Charlottesville, are they guilty of felony murder in the death of that woman in Charlottesville? All right, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mike Collinson, calling from Northeast Georgia, first-time listener and newly subscribed.
Welcome.
Yeah, so talking about this, one of the things when I first initially heard the story that was just super fishy to me was the amount of money, like $3 million, and I think they said in the initial report that it was paid out to 8 people. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So those numbers sound about right, based on what we've seen so far.
I mean, that's an average of $375,000 per person. I know some people got more, some people got less, from what we were discussing earlier, but I mean, it's not like you're infiltrating, Al-Qaeda. Like, that amount of money just seems disproportionate to the level of risk. Like, if this was even real, with what...
It is real. Hold on. Slow down a second. No, I mean, let's just look at Charlottesville, because we find out that... Let me pull up how much they paid to the Charlottesville guy. This is, now, again, this isn't me. This is according to Todd Blanche and Kash Patel. Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general. $270,000 to one individual from Unite the Right. That's Charlottesville, right? Look at what these liberals got for it. And it was the entire Biden campaign was launched and built around Charlottesville. Total crafted event by the left. Now we know for a fact that the left are behind. A lot of people, this group that's never been really identified, Patriot Front, they walk around like Nazis every once in a while somewhere in America. People are wondering now, are they behind that? But we know for a fact that they paid the Unite the Right guy $270,000. And you say, well, it seems like a lot of money. Look at what they got for it. That was brought up in the debates with Biden and Trump. The entire president, it's peanuts to the Democrat Party in these campaigns. They create a false narrative that there's white supremacists, Nazis, and Klansmen running around the country doing all this racism, and we find out that black Democrats are behind it all.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's just that if what they were saying was even real, like,
what do you mean?
There's no way that like, if they were saying they were paying people to infiltrate, dangerous organizations, which obviously I agree with you that there's really not a
no. There's no Nazi Klan or white supremacist functioning movement. I'm not saying that there aren't people in those. They're not active. They're not active. And whenever they're out there, Charlottesville, Trump was president during Charlottesville. Whenever they're out there, it's when Republicans are in office. And I say to liberals all the time, why didn't we see these Klansmen when we had a black president for 8 years? Right? We only see them. That's what really pisses off the Klan, is having a black president. That would drive them nuts. And because the Southern Poverty Law Center, they didn't put Klansmen out there then. They waited till Trump was in office, and then when they pay them, they do what they're told, and they portray themselves as what? MAGA, as Republicans. It's one of the biggest false flags I think we've ever seen in this country, and I'm very curious how this came to be. It's very CIA deep state-ish.
Well, I mean, I would think so, but I just don't know. I mean, I guess they'd have to do a huge discovery, during this entire trial. But if that's the case, it's going to be so buried. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to find that out or not.
Well, I don't know, but my belief with Todd Blanche and Kash Patel, they know this leads to the Biden campaign, because Biden launched his entire campaign on the Charlottesville incident that we now find out both sides were paid for and organized by the left. I mean, think about it. This is the biggest political scandal, I think, in the history of this country, and I don't say that lightly, that we have black Democrats funding the KKK. That's crazy. It's hard to even believe it's real, but it's true.
It's hard to believe. It just, for me, the hardest thing to believe is the amount of money, because their story doesn't hold up when you say it's that amount of money paid per individual to do something that would seemingly not be very dangerous, but if you were to, need to lie about it constantly.
Well, no, you're paying. You're not just paying them to do it. You're paying them to keep their mouth shut too.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me on.
All right, appreciate the call. Welcome to the program. Now, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. Are you in pain? Go see Dr. Appleton. It's so amazing. I talk about my pains a lot that I don't have anymore. When I went in for my shoulder pain, I was on the air that day, and I went from the radio station right to Dr. Appleton's office. I was in so much pain. The way I was describing it on the air that day is I'm in so much pain. I feel like in the front of my shoulder, somebody has stabbed me with a steak knife and are cutting my muscle, and Mike Tyson punched me on the side of my shoulder. It was that bad. And I couldn't move my arm. And I went to see Dr. Appleton. He examined me. He moved my arm. I almost fell down on the floor in tears. He treated me with his laser wave pain treatment. The pain gone. No shots, no pills, no injections. The pain gone, and it hasn't returned. It's amazing. It works. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Stop suffering. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, we'll take our break for the top. I've gotten through 2/3 of the show. Dayquil's keeping me going. Calls helping a little bit too. And we've had spectacular calls as well. We've had great calls today. 1 hour to go. Steve Kane will be joining us. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's freaking insane. Look at this. This is the head of the organization. She's the one paying the Klan and the Nazis. It's hard to believe it's true, but it's true. Go to their Instagram. Look this stuff up. I have this article. Here's the CEO, black man. Look it up. Hey.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep. We got a couple minutes, though.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to what's going on and
All right. Whatever.
okay.
All right.
Wake up.
Yeah, let me put you on hold, Steve, because we got a couple minutes. I'll be back to you. Great calls today, I must tell you. Great calls today. That. I'm getting all my copy together for the next hour's commercials. Okay, we got 2 minutes. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're going back to Iran.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, you sick?
Yeah, I'm sick. I got a cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tough bastard.
Yeah. Taking a lot of medicine.
Yeah, that makes it tough to do a show.
Oh, it sucks.
Well, let me see if I can let it.
Okay, we got less. Hold on. We've had great calls today. Hold on.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much of
Oh,
it,
yeah,
so.
great calls today. All right, hold on. All right, about 10 seconds. Hang in there. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, join us, and you're listening, of course, to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I was telling you, Steve, during the break, we've had superior quality of caller today. Actually, people that can think and speak and articulate. It's refreshing.
Well, that's the name of the game.
That's right.
That's the name of the game.
Absolutely.
I can tell you one thing. I'm not feeling very well today either.
Oh, great.
But it's basically, it's more than just a cold. It's just, I feel like I'm losing faith here.
And what?
In what? In the whole Iranian thing. The whole thing that we're being sold here. I mean, what is the status now? I didn't hear. I was hoping to get an update on what's the latest chapter in this Iranian debacle.
Okay. Everything in Iran is going perfectly, beautifully, and according to plan. President Trump.
That's what Don has been saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, the war's been going on. This fighting's been going on for like 7-8 weeks. He just saved the lives of 8 Iranian women who were going to be executed yesterday. Some of them have even been released from custody by the Iranians. He saved their lives. Things are going well. That tells me a couple things. These 8 women whose lives were saved by Trump in Iran, 2 or 3 of them were released from custody, maybe even 4. It tells me 2 things. It tells me that Trump has a lot of influence in Iran right now, and that the government is afraid of the people, that if they would have executed these 8 women, they were afraid.
What's the status of the war?
It's going well. In a day or 2, we're going to have another aircraft carrier fleet group there. Everything's going well. The ceasefire is in place.
I must say I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Are you watching CNN again?
All I see is delayed. I mean, I don't want to sound like a Democrat, and I got to tell you, and I mean, if you don't believe me, check with my family. I am as ardent a Trump fan as there is around.
Yeah.
But I'm starting not to believe.
And what?
I mean,
Trump?
How many deadlines can you postpone? And I don't see.
There's no deadline. President Trump said that. No, he said. President Trump said there's an indefinite ceasefire and the blockade will remain in place.
But meanwhile, there are boats landing all over the place.
What are you talking about? What boats?
I'm talking about the Iranians. Are you not aware about these little annoying boats?
They got a couple. They got a couple speedboats. They got a couple speedboats going around in, but no Iranian oil has gotten through the blockade. They're totally starved out.
Well, I hear Sean Hannity saying that, but I'm not seeing it. I mean, when are they supposed to move in already?
They're not. They're letting them. I was telling you yesterday. Right now, there's a fight for power inside Iran, right, between the Revolutionary Guard and the civilian military.
Well, that's the story
government.
we're getting. We're getting the story, but meanwhile, what they've done is create a scenario where basically they're going to be able to maintain the status quo and not end this thing. And that's starting to favor Iran.
Not at all.
Not us.
Not at all. You know, they have not gotten 1 quart of oil out of Iran since this blockade started. Not a quart or a pint. Nothing. So they're on their money is running out inside Iran. Their access to money outside of the country has been frozen by the United States. They're out of money, and they're fighting amongst themselves for power. They don't have enough money to pay their police and military or run their country.
Well, that's the story I hear, but
well, that's
not
the truth. What do you mean? What you're seeing? I mean, we're not seeing inside Iran. We have to trust the word of Trump. I trust Trump.
I've been doing that up till this point.
Well, he's saying what I'm telling you. Why?
Well, because it seems to me that it's one postponed deadline after another.
But they were going to execute these 8 women. Trump said, don't do it. They didn't do it. They released 3 or 4 of them from custody even.
Well, if you call that satisfactory to win the war. I don't know.
It's satisfactory. Yeah, it tells you that there's been a big change. The women are all alive. 3 or 4 have been released from custody. That tells me.
So when do they meet again?
There's no date set to meet.
So what does that tell you?
President Trump's letting them kill each other off inside Iran. He's letting the different factions in the government kill each other off.
I don't know. You know, I understand. I've understood for a while now that basically the president negotiates through press conferences, and I don't take everything he says as
You can't negotiate with the Iranians. There's no negotiation with the people that are over. They're crazy. You can't negotiate with these crazy people.
So how are you going to win?
We are. If we weren't winning, those 8 women would have been executed. The women were. Yeah.
No, I don't agree with
They
that.
didn't execute. What do you mean? They released 3 or 4 from custody. None of them were executed. They were all slated to be hung.
Winning this horrible.
If you're one of the women, yeah, they would have been dead today. All 8 of them. Why do you think they didn't execute them? The Iranian government, because they're good people.
Because I think they're prize hostages.
They released 3 or 4 of them.
They reached 34 of them. Well, watch this. Why is it that they still got half of them are still in jail? You know that, right?
But 100% of them are still alive. They would have been killed.
As far as we know,
It's being reported, and every news outlet in the world is reporting that the executions were all stopped and called off. And
they were stopped for the moment, but they're still half of them are still in jail.
Yeah, but not all of them.
They got, but not all of them. So that's winning the war.
Yeah, it's a path towards winning the war, because you got to ask yourself, why didn't they execute them? It's pretty obvious. They're afraid of the people.
But now, of course,
they're afraid.
Hostages.
If they're hostages, why'd they release 3 or 4 of them from jail?
Why did they keep 3 or 4 of them in there?
Well, I don't know, but this is what I think has happened here. Okay, and by the way, guys, let's open up the phones, because my throat is so sore I can hardly speak. Okay, I mean you have no idea how soft I'm speaking, because I have.
I just like to get some good callers and I know there have to be some callers out there who are liberal and who are opposed to Trump that aren't babbling morons.
I don't know about that. You're asking for a lot there. You're asking for a lot. But here's the thing, Steve. The reason they didn't execute them is because they're afraid that the people will rise up against them. President Trump said a couple weeks ago, when the people of Iran lose their fear of the Revolutionary Guard, they'll rise up. And obviously, there's been a shift where the government is afraid of the people. If they would have executed these 8 women, they were afraid of an uprising. That's why they didn't execute. So Trump has put in place the beginnings of a civilian uprising against what's left of the Iranian government. That's why they didn't execute.
The reality is we don't know what he's put in place.
No, you don't know.
Because there's no consistent story.
Nah, it seems pretty consistent to me. All right, well, listen, I'm going to put you and everyone on hold, and we're going to take a break, okay?
All right.
All right, so hang in there. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate. You know, it was pouring down rain this morning. You don't want to be driving on tires that don't have proper tread on them. And I'm going to tell you, before I found Friendly Tire in Margate, I drove on tires I shouldn't have been driving on. But you can get new tires out the door and on the road as low as $75 a tire. Yeah, that's right. Brand new tires at Friendly Tire as low as $75 a tire out the door and on the road. And that's on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road today. And when I say out the door and on the road, Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. Friendly Tire has thousands of good used tires in stock too, as low as $35 a tire, and that's out the door and on the road as well. He also does tire repairs. Call Friendly Mike right now at Friendly Tire. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I don't have the energy to walk Steve off the ledge today, so I'm going to have to let you guys on the phones do it. Okay. We got a couple minutes left. You know what I wonder with the Southern Poverty Law Center? How long have they been the ones behind the Klan and the Nazis? How many years? Charlottesville was, what year was Charlottesville? 19 or 18? What year was Charlottesville, guys? The Unite the Right. What year was that? That's a long time. So, you know, so how many years have they been behind the Klan and the Nazis, I wonder? I'd like to know. Yeah. If you're on hold, hang in there. Got 2 minutes and we'll be back. 2 minutes. This last stretch is going to be the worst. Being on my feet for 3 hours, that's the problem. But good solid sleep will help. 2017. So that's 9 years. How many years do you think that the Southern Poverty Law Center has been behind the Klan and the Nazis? I hope we get to find out who's behind this Patriot Front. It might be them. Who knows? Okay, just over a minute. All right, Steve, are you there?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, just over a minute. I'm just going to go to the phones when we get back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here, and I'm just going to go to the phone, Steve. Maybe the callers can walk you off the ledge, or some liberals will call in excited.
Okay.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jessica, how you doing, Brian?
I'm not well, but that's okay. The show must go on.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Hope you get better.
Thank you.
Listening to Steve talk is a little bit depressing because it makes me feel that he's not doing his part of the job. For example, he said his family.
Well, what is this, Bill? Hold on. What is this? When you say I'm not doing the job, what's the job? To get up and just automatically agree with everything that Donald says? Is that the job?
No.
Tell me. If it is, I'll change my style.
No. What I'm saying is that you need to keep up with the correct news, listening to the accurate news, not listening
I listen to Fox all day long. All day and all night. I listen to Fox.
How come then, I really didn't want to argue with you, Steve. I just want to give my peace of mind. How come then Brian is on top of the news?
Because Brian's not on top of it. He's just telling you a story that you want to believe.
No, that's not true. That's not accurate. I'm sorry. But
you don't want to believe the story?
No, well, what Brian is communicating to the people is exactly what I know because probably I listen to or I follow the news that he follows. So what I'm saying is that I feel that President Trump should take out Iran. He just should finish the job. He cannot settle.
I agree.
With these people,
today.
You don't settle with Iranians. You don't settle with terrorists. And him settling with these people is looking for more trouble in the future, especially for the
but that's hold on, dear. I don't mean to give you a hard time. Let me just ask you one question. I agree with you. Settling with these guys is bad news because they have a history of never letting go. They're going to keep playing with, well, I'm not in charge and this one's not in charge. It's called what we used to call when I was young, passing the buck. They're going to keep passing the buck until Don goes in and then wipes them out. It's that simple as I see it.
That's what he's doing.
I don't really. When am I going to watch this on television?
Well, it's a war, not a television program.
Yeah, you're not going to be watching it on television. That's what I'm saying. When you listen to your family saying things that are...
Well, maybe the reason I'm not going to be watching it on television is because it's not happening.
No, oh my God. No, it is not possible. He is taking care of business in Iran. He is doing it. I mean, he is doing it daily. I mean, you can hear everything he says when he gives a press conference on Air Force One, when he gives a press conference, even his White House press secretary. She announces all the steps that he's doing daily on the news that, you know, the liberal media doesn't want to
well, I do too, and you know, and I guess I'm seeing different things when we watch. But you know, what's going on is you got to be more patient. It's been 8 weeks. We've had regime change 3 or 4 times. He has them killing each other off. They're now obviously afraid of their own people. That's why they didn't execute those girls yesterday that they were all going to hang. You know, things are going, he's waging a war in a different way instead of a land invasion or doing, if he were to do a land invasion or start the bombing campaign again, it might unite these people together against us and Israel again, and he likes them killing each other off. And then
that's the rationale for never ending it.
We just need to be more patient and allow him to do his job.
When they don't have any cash left.
All the time Americans,
yes.
Like we want to end it now. We want, you know, Americans are usually like, no, I want the response, I want the results, I want to see it now, because if not,
yes.
I can't go on. I can't take
exactly.
But the gas prices are
exactly.
No, we have to keep it fine.
Don't be a panicking.
We're trying to take out. We're trying to take out a regime that has been there for...
All right, yeah, don't be a panicking, Steve. Don't be a panicking.
Okay.
All right, no, things are going, things could not be going better. Do you want to take some more calls?
Yes.
All right, let's go. You're on the air.
By the way, that was a good call.
Excellent call. I told you the calls today have been superior quality calls. Maybe I should be sick every day because these great intellectual calls are people you can have conversations with. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's PJ from Broward, hopefully with a superior call.
PJ.
Hey, listen, the thing is, Steve, here's what's going on. Because they're running out of storage facilities in Iran, because oil isn't coming out. And they only have about 10 or 12 days left, and then the storage facilities will be completely filled. And what happens then is they have to stop. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to get a little technical here, but they have to stop pumping the oil.
Don't put me to sleep.
Okay, but the thing is, if they stop pumping the oil, it ruins the oil wells permanently.
I heard that.
Give you a real quick rundown. Okay, so they have no choice. They're losing like about $500 million a day right now, as it is.
Yes.
It'll be even more permanently.
I know. I've been listening.
But they're not, Steve. In a short amount of time, a month, a week, 2 months, they're not going to be able to pay their police and bodyguards and military that are protecting them from the people.
So therefore, we never until we're just going to sit by and wait for that.
No, and on top of that, a lot of that traffic, I've seen the maps of it, a lot of that traffic is going right in another Gulf, the Gulf of America, because they all have to buy oil from America.
Thank you for your call.
Oh, my goodness. Why? He's making a lot of sense. I don't understand. What's the problem? All right, let's go. You're on the air, which...
We have the same talking points that you can hear
it's not talking points.
On Sean's show.
It's not talking points. It's not talking points. He's telling you what's happening. You're just tuning it out. All right, you're on the air.
I'm tuning out what's not happening, right?
All right. Go ahead, Cole.
Ryan.
Yes.
Morning, Ryan. Dr. Knight out of California. Good morning, Steve. It's nice to hear from you. Glad that you're doing well. Good morning. I'm in California. I had an opportunity to watch the debate.
Oh, it was good.
How did that go?
The Democrats looked completely stupid.
Yes,
which
they did.
I anticipated. They could not actually give Governor Newsom a failing grade.
The moderators, I don't know too much about the moderators, but they asked a devastating question to the Democrats. They asked to give Governor Newsom a grade on how he's handled the homeless. They all said A or B. They gave him an A or a B on how he's handled the homeless crisis in California.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. With the millions upon millions of dollars that have been
It's amazing.
squandered.
It's amazing.
I mean, and then the home, I mean, we've got millions of dollars that no one can find, and they're going to end up giving him
I mean, what were they, when they gave that answer, and Tom Steyer, he put his fingers in Steve Hilton's face. Did you see that? Steve Hilton was talking and Steyer put his fingers in his face to tell him to shut up. It was weird.
It was beautiful.
Yes, it was good.
It was beautiful to see that, just like President Trump did in the State of the Union, he told the Democrats that basically that they were there for the American people and not illegal aliens, and they should stand. That was the same kind of feeling that I got when they were asking that question. They don't care about us.
I'm a little concerned though about California. Bianco and Steve Hilton are in first and second place, and the way that it works, Steve, this is the primary in California. Republicans and Democrats are in the same primary. Whoever comes in first and second place run against each other in the general election. Right now, it's two Republicans are in first place, Steve Hilton and Bianco. And after last night with that homeless grade question of Newsom, I think the Republicans are going to win this. They're favored to win. But Bianco, here's my problem. I want to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
In all honesty, I think you're going to see Steve Hilton and you're going to see the mayor of San Mateo.
That's possible.
Because in all honesty,
the Democrat is possible.
I don't think you're going to see the billionaire guy because he's tried to run multiple times and he's never won.
But there's a problem there. I think Steve Hilton performed very well. I'm curious to see I haven't seen any polls because it's only 5:30 in the morning in California right now, so we haven't seen any polls out of California really reflecting. But Bianco, he's the Republican sheriff. And I came across a video of him today taking a knee, begging for Black Lives Matter, and he's not a Republican. And if he wins instead of Steve Hilton, we're done.
There was also some other a rumor mill in California in regards to him of finding a way for some sort of amnesty in regards to illegal aliens.
Bianco is a fraud. He is not a real Republican. Real Republicans don't take knees to Black Lives Matter.
I like Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton has been actually in it to win it for almost 2 years, and he actually has proposals, and he's actually been working the whole entire state. And then he also got the endorsement of Trump. He's coming with real, actual monumental change.
Yeah.
And he's talking in numbers that people can actually get behind.
Well, listen,
Even if
we're
you're
late.
not-
We're late for the
even
break,
if
so
you're
we
not a
got
Republican.
we're late for the break, so we got to run. But I haven't seen any new polls post debate yet out of California, and I'll be looking for. Hopefully, I'll have some for tomorrow's show. Because that debate, I think that debate was devastating for the Democrats.
I think Porter's out of it too.
Yeah. All right, appreciate the call. All right, Sloman's home security. Oh my goodness, Mother's Day is right around the corner. Yeah, there's no better gift to give your mom, your grandma, your daughter living outside the house, or your own wife and family and yourself in your own home than this free home security offer from Sloman's, okay? This home security offering is free. It's free professional installation as well as 24/7 central station monitoring. You get that for $24.95 a month, and you're locked in at that price for 5 years. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access so you can check in no matter where you're located in the world. Give them a call. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. Oh, I made it just in time. I didn't want to sneeze during this on the air. All right, I'm gonna put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. I had to go through the number pretty quick there because the sneeze was coming. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have left. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Oh, I've been gargling. I don't have much time either, okay. I was going to do the neti pot, but no time. Okay. We got less than 2 minutes and we'll be back. That's not enough time for the neti pot. All right, Steve, we have 90 seconds.
Okay.
I know the last stretch is going to be the tough one. Hold on. All right. I'll go to the phones when we get back.
Okay.
Less than a minute. Yep, no, Steve, no. All right, 15 seconds, stand by. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice.
Hello?
You're up. All right. They missed their chance. All right, let's take another call, Steve. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is John. I'm from Iowa.
All right, John. You're on the air. You called us. What's on your mind?
Oh, is Steve on?
Yep.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Steve. I was just listening to you. I've been watching that show for a long time, but I've never called. But after listening to you, I just want to call and say thank you. You're seeing the right things, and you bring me hope for humanity. You know, people talk about MAGA being a cult, but what you just did was stepping outside and that's what I need to see more of. By Brian and the other girl trying to talk you back and saying all those crazy things, you are right, my friend. Stand firm on your ground. Don't let them pull you back into their little tunnel where they see everything through the eyes of Donald Trump. See through your own eyes. I trust your eyes. You're a good man, sir.
You said you don't go anywhere, Iowa. Hold on. Oh, he hung up. Did you hang up? Oh, he hung up. So there you go, Steve. You got the Democrats cheering you on.
That's not going to work.
That's true. I mean, I was going to get into that, but he hung up on himself because he knew where it was going.
In other words, if you don't believe everything that you hear on the Fox News, nothing else is true.
No, what I'm telling you is that you just gave food to a Democrat. What does that tell you? I mean, let me answer all these lines coming in because the phones are ringing. But what I'm telling you, what I told you was going on in Iran is what is happening. It's not about being in a call tour.
What part of our discussion are you referring to? You're referring to the part where we talked about that the girls are still in jail?
They're not still in jail. 3 or 4 of
They
them.
are still in
No,
jail.
3 or 4 of them have been released. They were all scheduled to be executed yesterday. And they released 3 or 4 of them. They were going to hang all of them. They hung none of them.
They still have 4 that are in jail for a year.
And they released half of them. And they were going to execute all of them. So I just don't understand. I don't get it, Steve. Do you want to take some more calls?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Hold on, let me take care of all this. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go, Steve. Maybe we can find another Democrat. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Allen from Plantation.
Oh, hey, Alan.
How you doing? So I agree with Steve. I think we should send in the troops, Liz, maybe 3, 4, 5,000 men, create 90 million refugees that don't have any money, don't have any electricity or water.
Yeah.
I think that's a great plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we losing right now? We pay a little bit more in gas, but if we wait it out, they're going to kill each other off.
Exactly.
And Iran, then the people of Iran will still have something that they can rebuild.
What President Trump is doing is the most brilliant war strategy this country has ever used in a war. Brilliant.
Yeah. I was listening to Jack Prosevic last night, and he says this is really a China strategy. We've gotten Venezuela, we're taking care of Cuba, Greenland was part of it. He's meeting with the president of China on May 15th.
Yep.
And he's got a stranglehold on the oil in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking care of China as well. The man is brilliant, and he's got the right strategy to take care of this in Iran as well.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? Invade? Right? I mean, this is no. The fact that they didn't execute these 8 women shows me that they're afraid of the people for the first time ever.
Correct, and a little more time. They're running out of money. They said 2 million people in Iran lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was yesterday, the day before. They don't have any money.
To pay them.
It's going to come to a head. It just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's been 8 weeks. And I would say we've won the war. I think we won the war on day 1 when we took out the supreme leader. I think the war's been won.
I agree. It's just going to take some time, and as long as we're patient, it'll work out.
Mm-hmm. All right, Plantation.
We're not losing people. We're not losing people. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, what do you think, Steve? Did I lose you, Steve? Oh, I might have lost Steve there. I don't know. All right, Steve, are you back with us? Okay, I don't know what happened with Steve. I will take some more calls, and then I'll try to get him to break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Steve and Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey.
Hey, guys. Good morning, Steve. You there?
Steve's line went dead. I'm going to call him back during the Gold Report.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he seemed to be somewhat apprehensive about some of the stuff going on. And, I mean, I can understand being a little bit apprehensive, but at the same time, I think that this is, I think it's a bit rich to say that everything is going according to plan, but I think it's very simple to say everything's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I mean, military plans, they change from day to day.
No, when I say going by according to plan, Trump's plan all along was to have an uprising of the people. And the fact that they didn't execute these women shows me they're afraid of the people now, or they would have done it. When have they ever called off an execution like this?
There is that, there's definitely that. I think that, Iran is, Iran is a big country. I mean, it's 2 times the size of Venezuela, maybe close to 3 times Ukraine.
They have 90. With a popular. Hold on. Let me put you on hold while I get Steve back, okay? But and Iran is a country of 90 million people, and they, and it's a big country that did have a somewhat large military before we blew it all up. All right, all right, yeah. All right, Steve. Let's get back to the calls. Okay, you're back. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say that the country's huge. It was basically kidnapped by these rabid dog thugs, enforcing this fanaticism crap.
Yep.
And they had like 75,000 mosques. Now they have 25. The fanaticism on the Islamist side is just so out of favor. They've had a couple of generations. The country is about 60%, Persian.
Can I ask you? Can I interrupt this? Can I interrupt this and ask you a question? Hey. All right. What I want to ask you is, do you take everything that is said at press conferences, whether it's by Trump directly or whether it's by one of his surrogates in the cabinet, do you take everything that you hear as fact, or do you believe, as I do, that basically Trump uses the daily events to spread what he feels he wants to communicate to the Iranians? And hence, it's what he wants them to believe.
Well, I think there's a little bit of both of that, and I think right now it's more the second part of what you said, Steve. I think it's more Trump is saying he uses the press conferences to move. I mean, I know everybody thinks this is a master genius level chess game going on, but to me it's not. This is blunt force checkers. It's simple common sense, which we haven't had in a long time.
If it was blunt force, he would have gone in at the deadline.
No, not the old school with boots on the ground. I said this several weeks ago. They were going to.
Oh, I don't know about boots on the ground. It doesn't have to be boots on the ground. We have an Air Force. We have a Navy.
And there's a 3rd aircraft carrier arriving tomorrow or the next day. We're going to have 3 aircraft carrier fleet groups there.
That only helps if we use them.
Well, it's there's definitely a hammer and stick thing going on here, Steve. But it is, to me, I said this a few weeks ago, that there were going to be rogue elements. They were going to fight amongst each other. And Trump didn't make friends with the entire Middle East. He did all that knowing that Iran was the thorn in the rose. And when Trump is basically clearing the board, and the boots on the ground, it's not going to be us. It's probably going to be. I mean, I can see the other, the possibility of the other, Middle East countries getting together. But it's all going to work. It's going to work its way out. And I think right now,
what he's trying to do is bring regime. What he's trying to do is yes, and he's trying to have a permanent regime change from within. If we go in there and try to force a regime change, he doesn't want to have an Iraq situation. And if they do it themselves, it'll be more stable, right?
They've got to do it themselves. If they don't do it themselves, it's not worth anything. They've already lost a lot of lives. I mean, I was saying this: 60% of that country is Persian, 60-65. You've got the Kurds and the Azerbaijanis, about another 30. The Turkmen, the other minorities, and so forth. They are so sick of this fanaticism, and there's going to be a tipping point when enough of these rabid dogs with guns, because listen, they've got the guns.
Well, listen, we got to run for the gold report, but you make some good points. All right, I'm going to put you and everybody on hold, Steve. All right, so hang in there, everyone, and we'll take a break. Steve, are you there? Okay, yeah, not yet. I'm gonna put you on hold. I gotta call him. Hold on.